Don't tread on us.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice.
The Zanna way.
Don't trade on us, the Freedom Rifle by Zanna. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration, chambered in 223 Wild that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499, made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Tread on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD Don't Tread on Us, free ebook How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port Don't Trade on Us for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now. Okay, guys and girls, you're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom. We look at Zanna. This is the second hour, the hour about guns. As you know, this hour, it is about different things. We go from training, we go from mindset, we go, of course, to the idea that it's not important as much as the gun. We are the weapon. We are the tool. Our mind is really our weapon, and so also our heart. But also, you need to have the right gun. That would be nice, if you have the training, you have the mindset, and then you have the right gun. I really believe that's what I call the triangle of final, fighter, okay? And as we know, we are civilians. We are here to try to defend our families. We try to defend our life. At the same time, we want to be the best we can be. So I always say, try to find the best everywhere you can. When it comes down to guns, yes, of course, budget depends on what you can afford. And sometimes it's better have something better than nothing, okay? But I always say, try to get the quality because, many times you pay for what you get. Same story for guns. And I like to find quality places. I like to find quality stores. I also like to find places that is not just, they don't just slap the guns on you and say, okay, sayonara, see you, thank you very much, you got your money. But the idea also they can give you the support, the knowledge, can give you the opportunity to say, customer service, what do you need? Let's learn together. So it's more than just selling. Also try to share information. Sometimes you buy something that you don't need. Maybe you buy something that you could save the money and save that money buy other things like ammunition or maybe buying training. So I believe in that. I believe in customer service, and I believe especially small business that they're trying to do the right thing. Today, I'm here, as you can hear from my, acoustic. I'm not in my studio, but I am in Lake Havasu, in an interesting place, because it's not just the typical gun shop. It's really something that I like, even just the name, I was pretty attracted. It's Against All Enemies. And I'm here with the owner, okay? His name is Patrick. And I met him through another friend. And I'm very proud because, he's a young man, and we will know a little bit more about him. And at the beginning, I didn't know really what to expect. I thought it was just another gun shop. But looking around, it's a very sophisticated, or at least very targeted gun shop, especially when it comes down to rifles, especially comes down to AR-15 platforms. And I think, since the guy has an interesting background, and we will go through more with him, I think he has also a lot of good knowledge to share and the passion to share when you buy a gun. Now, to top it off, he also sells the Don't Tread on Us uppers and the Skadi Uppers. So that really makes it perfect. And pretty soon, I really believe we also will have here the smoke grenades and some other interesting things that normally, my business sells through other dealers. Now, Patrick, how are you doing today?
Doing good, Luca. How you doing?
All right, man. So before we start, as I said, I like always to start not just from the end, but from the beginning. Because, everything we do, business or interaction with life, is always, a representation of who we are. You know, I mean, I believe everybody's different because everybody has a different background. You know, it's like we are the results of our past. So today you're here, you're not just another gun shop because everybody can say, I'm selling guns. You're more than just a gun shop. You also have a human and also, let's say cultural. This is cultural, you know, background. You know, you learn some stuff. What did you do before selling guns at this shop?
For the last 9 years before starting this company, I was in the Marine Corps.
Okay. So you were, first of all, a qualified rifleman. I know that every Marine must qualify as a rifleman. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's good. And also, I think you like guns because, after all, otherwise you would have chosen working for the bank, okay?
Right, absolutely. I love guns.
Okay, that's a good start. You see, guys, that's why I say everybody has a different something to offer, you know, and I'm sure many other gun shops love guns, but when you have a man that also put his life and also, you know, it wasn't a job. You know, I always believe, you know, when you join, let's say, military in general, even in Italy when I was doing my military school, it wasn't about the money. You know, you believe in some ideals. And otherwise, you know, you can make better money somewhere else at the end of the day. Your life is more precious than a paycheck. You know, that's the bottom line. So very interesting. Now, when did you start Against All Enemies?
I started Against All Enemies on paper back in January of 2015, and I started the shop March of 2016.
Wow, so it's a new shop, and it's a beautiful place. I know Havasu, so it's a pretty good, you know, movement. Am I right or wrong? You got a lot of customers from different parts of the state, even California?
Absolutely, yeah. We get customers from all over the place. Not only is Havasu a retirement town, but it's also a tourist town. So, you know, our sister state, although some of their, you know, purchases may be limited, we still get a lot of attraction from the California customers.
All right, very good. Now, you know, it's different work in the private sector, especially when you work for yourself and, you know, you don't have a big corporation behind, you know, you try it from scratch. Then when you are working at, you know, normally, even as a soldier, you know, after all, they tell you what to do and you don't have to worry about budgets or payrolls. I mean, this is like it's a big enterprise. Even if it's a small business, still, what are the challenges that you find out as a new business owner?
Honestly, everything at any point in time can be a challenge. I'd say the biggest challenge that I face every day is working hand in hand with other entities who support me, whether it be a credit card processing company or another manufacturer down the street. Yeah. Knowing how to be on their level and basically communicate with them is probably one of the biggest challenges.
It's funny you mentioned credit card companies because they are really, really bad. I mean, I have been going through it myself with one of my business selling guns. You know, even I do wholesale. It's like ridiculous. I mean, the standard now, they are so demanding, you know, and such a pain in the butt. I mean, not even asking for money. You're just trying to say, can you process the credit card? That's anyway.
I've been selling retail for 1.5 years, and I'm on my 5th credit card company.
Wow. Anyway, though this is the spirit, guys. Though this is the spirit also of America. You know, after all, I think about it. It's a young business. It's a young man, and doing something that normally we like. You know, that's I think my opinion, the secret. Doing what we like. You know, I mean, if you like this and you like to, you know, try to empower people to exercise the Second Amendment. That's beautiful. So that's probably one of the things that give us the strength to go through all these advertisements, because I understand, you know, a lot of things to go through. Now, tell me a little bit more exactly what you sell. You know, I see a lot of AR-15s, of course, but I see also other things, shotguns and parts. Give me a little bit more details.
So basically what we sell here at the store is we sell all types of firearms, handguns, revolvers, shotguns, you know, bolt-action rifles. And then we also sell our own brand of AR-15 or AR-10 rifles and pistol variants. We're licensed to sell suppressors, short-barreled rifles, and also manufacture full autos. Wow. Besides that, one of our biggest things is we sell AR-15 parts. And one of the biggest vendors that we get parts from is CAC Industry. They're out of Oxnard, California. Mm-hmm. And they supply us with barrels, bolt carrier groups, buffers, tubes, all that kind of stuff.
Very good. And I like the fact, as I said before at the beginning, it's more than just buying a part, especially if you come to Havasu. You can come here, ask questions. And there is nothing wrong to ask questions. Sometimes people say, oh, I don't look cool. Doesn't matter. This is not about looking cool. It's about being sure that, first of all, you get the right stuff and the rifle doesn't blow up on your face, okay? And more important, you got something that you can count and your life can depend on it. So what I really believe is the function of, because, you know, everybody can buy stuff now online. But I think when you go, especially the personal knowledge, and somebody especially the new guy or the new person who's trying to get into the guns and asks questions, it's good to know that you can give him some support. That's the most important thing. Normally, what is the most, let's say, I don't want to put them down because I'm not trying to make fun, but sometimes people come out with the strange questions, okay? Or even strange things. I saw people try to put a magazine in upside down or in different positions, I suppose. No. What is the craziest thing you ever seen from a customer?
Okay, so definitely the craziest thing we've ever seen is we had a gentleman who we built a rifle for, and he brought us a receiver set and we built it up the way he wanted. And he came back in the next day and he had this look on his face like he didn't know what was going on, and he said, "I think I broke it." And I said, "Probably not, but let's take a look at it." Long story short, he did not know how to send the bolt home once it locked back on an empty mag, so he couldn't figure out why he couldn't get bullets into the chamber.
Wow, that's why training would be a nice thing. As I said, people should invest in a gun, of course, but equally should be also an investment in from the basic. We don't even talking about anything fancy, but the basics: how to operate a gun, how the gun function, how to cycle, how to things like reloads and emergency reload, tactical reloads, how to unload the gun. I believe it or not, some people have no clue how to unload a freaking rifle. The only way they know it is squeezing the trigger, That's pretty scary. I know, by the way, I'm looking here at your office. I see there are like a training schedule. That's exciting. What's going on here?
Well, we're going to do business with Luca and hopefully get some training out there. That literally is the reason why I started this company, was to be able to train people because, based off my background, that's what I was most comfortable with doing. And, shortly thereafter, I made the decision to go ahead and retail and build firearms. Now that we're at the point where, the building custom rifles and also retailing other items out of the shop and online has kind of sustained us, we can move on to other projects like training. So.
Perfect. And I'm very happy I found you because I always believe, synergy is good. And I like to collaborate with business, especially with young business like yours. After all, I'm a young business too in this industry. I'm learning still a lot of things. And more important, when I see the excitement, as I said, I like to do things I like. It's more than just the money. It's about the passion, And for me, when I see, for example, a person that normally never had a gun before and finally buy the first gun, and then after say, okay, now what's next? And then finally he can feel comfortable and safe and no more intimidated, and then say, what's next? And now, you can start to know how to use it. And finally say, wow. And then finally, hopefully you can say, it is not just an instrument of destruction like they're trying to put it, but it's you behind the gun. You can save a life. It is not to take a life, it's to save a life. That's always what I say at the classes. Guns are not to kill. It's an instrument to save life. People say, oh, they kill. No, the gun doesn't do anything. The gun is an instrument. But no, law-abiding people, what we want to do with the gun, we want to save lives. We don't use the word, oh, we're going to kill that bastard, or we're going to, no, or we stop the threat, or we save life. That's all we do. But, of course, that was different from, when you were in the service. You weren't there to, the training of the military is different. It is not like to just save your life. Let's go there, supposed to go to war and beat the crap out of the enemy and come back home, hopefully. So it's a different mindset, even when you go, because I used to train, normally with former military people, but in the civilian world, they need to readapt a little bit to the civilian standard. Because you're not on the battlefield. On the battlefield, you don't think about so much about over-penetration. Whatever, blast it. Here we got to think about what if that round is going to miss, and maybe it's going to over-penetrate, and behind there is maybe a mom with a little baby. You're liable. We are liable for every round. So that's I'm really enjoying, and I hope we can do great things together with the classes. I would love to work with you also on the field. As I said, we're going to be, when we do classes, we're going to be together. So I would love to do that. Let's give information how people can reach you out. Website, phone numbers, addresses, everything else.
All right. Well, our shop address here in Lake Havasu City is 2152 McCulloch Boulevard North, and it's located on the main street in Havasu, just between the Salvation Army and the recruiters' offices. Our website address is www.aaeamerica.com. Our phone number here, which you can reach me anytime and any day, is 928-444-5778. And also our email address is againstallenemieslLC@gmail.com. And I'd also like to mention that we host a number of different social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Tumblr, LinkedIn. So we try to communicate and stay in contact with as many people in different ways as we can.
Perfect. And I'm just curious, I'm always fascinated by names. How did you come out with this name and why?
Well, it kind of took a long process. That was the first thing I did. Once I made the decision that I'd like to start a company that had something to do with firearms, I started kind of weighing my options, and I forget exactly how I came up with Against All Enemies, but much like anybody would agree, it just stood out. And when I started designing the logo, it kind of worked, and I went from there. And then I started really thinking about what it actually means, and it's a pretty profound statement.
Yeah, honestly, I like that because Against All Enemies, foreign and domestic. When I took my oath as a citizen, that was part of my oath. And you did the same as a military, even more profound, probably even more specific on different way. But I think it's important. I like the message, honestly. It's a straightforward message. It's not a pansy one. Sometimes people try to be political. This is nothing to misunderstand. Against all enemies, and then I can do my little addition, foreign and domestic. But of course, that's what I'm saying. It's my commentary. All right, Lisa, anything else you want to say? Any special you have this month? I know you got the Freedom Rifle Uppers. I know you got the Skadi. But anything that would be interesting just to come and visit you? What's going on here this month?
Yeah, absolutely. This month is pretty busy for us. Obviously, since we go to gun shows every single weekend, we always offer our 10% at the table as far as discount on sticker prices. We offer veterans and active duty military discounts, but specific to July, from July 1st to the end of July, July 31st, we are offering an 11% discount on all inventory and a 20% discount on all Against All Enemies firearms. So anything that we manufacture, we're offering up to 20% off of that price.
That's really good. And by the way, as you said, you don't just sell guns, you also make them, so you also license. And I see you also do a suppressor, so you got special lines. And guys, let me tell you this, since I went through my little process as a gun manufacturer to get a license, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, it is not just, selling. Selling is the easy part. To keep the inventory and deal with ATF. I mean, technically, if you really want to make money, this is not a business. You can make more money selling peanuts. I have better markup. I don't need to deal with ATF. And I have many other business that I run. No, seriously, I have other business that I make much more money and markup without the hassles. This is passion. It is also for me almost like it's a duty. Seriously. I mean, think about it. If we didn't have any more local gun shops and we were down to maybe 2 or 3 big names out there and the market would be limited. This is almost for me is really the homeland security to be sure that you can buy guns everywhere. Every law-abiding person is allowed to buy a gun with free market rules. We got bad prices. You don't need to be, think about if we were down really to few big names out there. Tomorrow they could completely control the market. So I really believe you need to support, please, your local shop, especially when, as I said, they don't just sell you a gun, but they try to also empower you with education, training, and also the knowledge to buy the right stuff. Okay, so we need more gun shops. That's why my mission at the show, especially the second hour, I don't care if you sell the same stuff I sell. I like a big market. I like competition. I like collaboration because honestly, that's what I do. I collaborate with everybody who wants to collaborate, of course. But I really believe we are an asset. Small business like Against All Enemies is an asset to keep America free and to have the exercise our Second Amendment. Listen, I want to give you the last 2 minutes. You can pitch whatever you want. Normally, that's what I do with my guests at the end. You got the floor.
All right. Well, I'd like to start by kind of encouraging some of the people out there who may have come across this radio show, or even the loyal listeners that listen to it all the time. Many people that come into my shop, they really, you can kind of see that they're skittish as far as asking questions, and maybe their knowledge base as far as firearms or whatever kind of firearm they may own goes. And then I get a lot of feedback from many customers that, they walk into another work center or another gun shop and they don't really get treated the way that they should be. So I'm here to tell everybody that, there's no dumb questions here in this shop. There's no lack of knowledge that we're going to tell you to turn around. All we ask is that you be safe and you make sure your firearm's unloaded when you come in the store. And other than that, we're here to give, like you were saying, Luca, we're here to give the knowledge as well. It's not necessarily about building guns, although that is a passion at this point. It's not necessarily about the retail sales. It's really about empowering, the citizens around me here locally and even nationwide, as far as us visiting them at gun shows. So I do want to thank all the local customers that come in here and they ask questions and they call me on the weekend when they're building their next gun and they have a question on where this goes or how this needs to fire or this and that. It's kind of humbling to get that type of feedback and to know that regardless of how sales go and regardless of how others see our reputation, the people are who matter to us, and they're doing everything they can to support us, and we appreciate that.
Perfect. So this was Against All Enemies in Lake Havasu City. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll look at Zanna, ready for more news. We're going to conclude the second hour with other more information. And don't forget, with final hour, I have a surprise for you. Don't forget, this is also the hour about love and freedomlovers.us, the free dating site for freedom-loving people. Do not go away. Ciao.
Have you ever met someone on an online dating site and thought, wow, this guy is perfect for me, or she is simply amazing, only to find out they were hiding a deep, dark secret? They plan to vote for Hillary. freedomlovers.us was created for singles who want to exchange ideas and a love for freedom. People who are looking for solutions to create and defend freedom in the real world, and at the same time, getting that once-in-a-lifetime chance to find their true soulmate. Whether you are interested in meeting your soulmate, making new friends, networking, or hanging out with that like-minded liberty lover, visit freedomlovers.us. It's the first free dating site and community. So patriots, don't waste your time with other dating sites. freedomlovers.us is the place where like-minded singles really click.
It is time. Get your Arizona Concealed Carry Permit now with Arizona Concealed Carry Permit by Zanna Enterprises, LLC. Become a more responsible and educated gun owner. Carry legally concealed in 35 states. Carry permitted in restaurants where alcohol is served. Learn where and how you can legally carry a firearm in Arizona. Learn where you can use deadly force. Where can you display your gun or not for self-defense? Learn how to deal with law enforcement while carrying a firearm. Learn how to be aware of your surroundings and how to avoid a confrontation. Buy your gun without waiting for a background check. Get your Arizona Concealed Carry Permit now. Go to www.azccw.us. Go to www.azccw.us. Free for single mothers and people with disabilities.
Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll look at Zanna. This is the second hour, the hour about guns. I always say, it's a great experience to be on the show, even for me as a host, because what I like on the show, I have the opportunity to meet great people, learn a lot from different people, because, after all, you're never going to know everything. It's an experience. And a few years ago, exactly a couple years ago, when I was testing the Don't Tread on Us rifle, the Freedom rifle, it came out to my attention the chamber, or at least the caliber, 223 Wild. Let's see if I spell it out right. WYLD. And I had no idea. It was an accident.